Okay, here is the setup, and you don't want to turn it on yet, but the max is about 300 milliliters, which is just over a cup, and so I'm just gonna kind of pour that in here before we even get started. You want to make sure to put both of these on here. So this is that's all set up. And then here are your different baskets. And so this one, you cannot put it in wrong, because see how that doesn't fit? If you turn it around, it will fit right in there. And then you can kind of see this little hole right here, because that is where the steam comes. And so here's the other one. These are super easy. See how this just comes off like this, and it's super easy to get on there. Okay, and so that is gonna fit, and you can't really even put these on wrong either. See how it fits like that? And then there's a third one if you need it. And then it just kind of, these just kind of fit right on there. So that's how it's gonna look whenever you steam them. And I'll show you once I cut up. This is a single yam sweet potato. And so we'll go from there. Okay. We're going to be making dinner soon, in the next couple of days, some lentils. And so this is the type of carrots we use. However, we only need half, so I'm going to go ahead and use the other half. See, this actually fit all my yams in here. And so what I'll do is, oops, let's go the other way. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half of these carrots and put in here. Okay, so I ended up having to use both of these because of the carrots. So this is what it looks like. There you go. So that is, you have your yams and then you have your carrots. And so now we'll just plug it in. Press start, and then you're going to go over here to the cook, and it says 20 minutes, but I always add a couple of minutes, and then all you do is press play, and you just let it go. And so I'll be back whenever it is finished. And you may have to add water, but it will tell you if you need to add water. So here there's about 12 minutes left, and you can kind of hear it. At first you're not going to, because it takes a little bit of time for the water to heat, but you'll see how it's kind of steaming right now. So we'll come back. And if I do have to add water, I will show you about that too. Okay, it is finished. So if you'll go ahead and just go ahead and turn it off for right now and unplug it. And you want to be very careful because it is hot. And so I'm going to go ahead and take off the top. And I would just let it sit there and maybe rest, maybe 5-10 minutes before you try to touch it, because it can be very hot. And as you can tell, there's almost 200 milliliters right here. So what I'm going to end up doing here in a little bit is I'm going to pour this back into here. So if I need liquids, then I'll have this. Or you can use breast milk, but I've just been using this for right now until I talk to my pediatrician. Okay, so I've let it obviously go more than 5-10 minutes. Unloaded the dishwasher. So I'm just gonna set these all over here. And then this is really nice. Now, of course, this has been sitting here for a little bit of time. But see how it has this little basket, and it's really nice. So I'm just going to transfer that over to my cutting board. And then I unlocked it, and I'm just going to pour it in there, because I'm not going to want all of that in there. Okay, so I'm going to first do the yams, and with the yams I like using cinnamon, and then for the carrots I put a little bit of cumin, so I will show you here in a second. So I just take this, and then now see how the blade is right there, and how it sits up. See that? See, the blade is right there, so it makes it really easy to transfer. And so now I'm just gonna pour that in there. So there you go. Now I pour just a little bit of maybe a little bit more. And you can see whatever type of consistency you want. Now this is the important part. See how that little piece right there, that's where the water and the steam came from? And so this piece has to go in there so that when you're blending, the food doesn't get in there. So it works out really well. There's really only one way. There's really only one way to put it in there, because it won't fit any other way. So you have that. Then you take this top that typically you could put on when you're steaming, but because it was high, you can't do that. That little notch is going to go right in there, so you just want to twist it like that. And then you're going to now go back to plugging it in. Going to turn it on, and you can either do puree or baby food. It doesn't necessarily really matter. And then of course there's chop, but I'm just going to go ahead and do puree for now, just because of the chunkiness. But you can just kind of play with it as to what you want to do. So we'll just go ahead, and all you do is push puree. I think baby food, it makes it a little, let's do baby food today. And since we're doing this, I'll probably use puree for the carrots. Oh, I did forget. What I did forget is, forgot my cinnamon. And so just that for right now. That makes it really yummy. These are actually really good cold. So if at the very beginning, when we started her, she didn't really eat a whole lot. You can either put it back in the refrigerator, or you can, okay, hold on for a second. I need to use both hands. Okay, so now we can begin. So there's that, and you want to push baby food, and then all you have to do is push start. And it'll stop, and then it will go again. I like to get a spatula, and in the middle of this, I like to stop it. I like to pause it, and then I like to scrape down the sides. So I scrape down the sides, and so now just finish that up. I did add some water. because I wanted it to be a little bit more runny, but you don't have to add water if you don't want to. So I want to show you what I use. These are 1 ounce, and I have these little labels that I use. And so I'm going to go ahead and get out these labels so I can get all ready and see how this was from February, and these last about 3 months, they say, in the freezer, which is why I freeze them. And so I already popped them out, but this is really nice because you can pop them out. And so what I do is, these are 2 ounces, 2 ounce little things. So what I end up doing is, let's see if I can get this with one hand. I put them frozen like this. I put on the top. And then up here, I put them in here. So there's that. And so what I need to do is obviously take this off because I'm getting ready to put my yam mix in here. Okay, these are dishwasher safe. I didn't put this in the dishwasher. I went ahead and just washed it by hand since we're ready to go. And I have my label for the yams, and I'll do the carrots here in a second. But I go ahead and use that. And then I go ahead and get a tablespoon because that makes it a lot easier to scoop. Okay. So this looks really pretty, and this is the consistency. It almost looks like pumpkin. But now, you just take a scoop like this. Let me move that so you can see. And then I just drop it. In there. And you do this until you don't have any more. And like I said, you can add water to have the consistency that you want. Okay, so that right there, that one yam made all of these. I'm going to try to see if the carrots will fit right here. And so there's little notches and that they match. And so that's just what you'll do. And you'll take your label, and I try to put it in the middle so that all of these, so I'll know that all of these are that. So I'll just kind of put them right here. I put the date, and then I will put them right here with all the other ones that I have made. And then on another note, these are what I did the blueberry pops for her. So hopefully that helps. So now I've dumped the carrots in here. I added the rest of the water that I had poured out, and then I put just a little bit of cumin to do so, and just do the same thing as you did with the others. And putting on the lid, and we'll go from there. Okay, I just finished with the carrot, so it took up all that. So this is all that was made from the half a bag of those shredded carrots and a yam. So you get quite a bit. Now as they get older, that may not go as far, but for right now, of how little they are, it works out pretty good. And so I'll put this one just right there to indicate that that is that. And what's really nice is all of this is dishwasher safe, as far as I know. I think I read it someplace that it is. And so I've put everything. I just went ahead and kept these on here. And this is really easy to remove. And so what I ended up doing is I put like her little spoons. So you just have to be careful. So I would just be very cautious because of the blade. Now what you can do is you can take this and you can even put it someplace else, but I like to keep it in here because I can lock it in there and not have to worry about anybody else. So hopefully this helps, and if for some reason there is anything that gets right in here, I have found that using a Q-tip works really well. I wet it and then I do that. So, and now I can take these and now I've replenished because I'm almost finished with those. And so there you go. Hopefully this helps.